It's time, baseball fans, enthusiasts, and devotees, for Dispatches from Detroit, featuring the man that gives Tiger fans the news, the scoops, and the straight dope on all things Motor City, the big guy.
Oh, mornings go better with coffee and the Detroit Tigers, especially when they're playing this well. Now, I don't get too excited. It's still early. Things could change. But as of April 15th, the Tigers are 10-6, and they're in first place in the American Central. Now, we're also about a third of the way through their 10-game road trip where they don't get a day off. So this is a crucial time for them. They've got some more games against the Brewers coming up and also with the Royals. And the Royals are a pretty good team. So, like I said, crucial time coming up. And it's going to be exciting, so I'll try and keep you abreast if by chance you are depending on me. Now, Tarik Skubal pretty much demoralized the Milwaukee Brewers on Monday, April 15th. And I'm feeling good about the Tigers pitching, and who wouldn't right now? But if you're a longtime Tiger fan, then you probably know that things haven't always looked this way. In fact, hardly ever looked this way. So much of what's happening with the Tigers is, well, it's coming out of what people are calling a pitching lab. Yeah, that's a real thing. So does Detroit have a pitching lab? I have read online that they do not. I have also read online that they do. Now, there isn't a specially designated facility from the sound of things. Others claim that there is, but it's top secret. They're not telling anybody where it's at and what they're doing, but the facilities and the philosophies are spread out, and the Tigers are undergoing training and analysis to enhance their skills, and you can see how it's paying off. Some say that it's actually an industry secret to where the Tigers pitching lab is actually located, I don't really know. I have no idea. Most people I know have no idea, and I think that's just the way the Tigers want it. So, when I see Skubal and Jackson Jobe and Jack Flaherty and Casey Mize and a lot of the others, I realize that this lab must be doing something right. And people throughout the MLB, they are noticing. And when I say people, I'm talking teams and influencers, I suppose, at that point. So I predict two things are going to happen over the next year or two. Number one, all other forward-thinking baseball teams are going to try to duplicate this pitching lab idea. And two, ones that can afford it are going to try to steal away all the Tigers' staff. I've seen it before, and that's kind of how it goes. Well, anyway, let's get away from that because I'm just going to enjoy and savor this time with the Tigers in first place. Let's go over the injury report real quick. They're in first place with a lot of guys on the IL right now, so I'm not panicking or worrying about anything. I'm just kind of, like I said before, savoring it. So let's just go over it real quick. There's a bunch of guys that have been on it for a while. We'll just hit them up real quick. Alex Cobb, he's got that right hip inflammation. He's on the 15-day IL, which he has been on for probably closer to 2 months. I don't know. I don't understand. I'm going to tell you how long they're supposed to be on there. I don't know why they give them these numbers because they hardly ever do 15, 10, or 20. It's usually a lot more. Sawyer Gipson-Long, who I really do enjoy seeing. I'm hoping he'll get back mid-season, but he's recovering from right elbow and left hip surgeries. Supposed to be on a 60-day IL. Ty Madden, right rotator cuff strain. He's on the 60-day IL. Jose Urquidy is recovering from Tommy John surgery on the 60-day IL. Now, he had that done prior to coming to the Tigers, so he might be off that list pretty soon, probably mid-season. And we've got Alex Lang, who's still recovering from that lat surgery. I'm not sure how long he's still going to be out. Tyler Madison has that UCL reconstruction surgery and is from day to day, which I don't get at all, but that's the way it's listed here. And then the ones that we are really noticing up front, Parker Meadows, he's got that right upper arm nerve discomfort. He has been moved to the 60-day IL, which just shocked me. I was hoping he'd be back much sooner. Matt Vierling, right rotator cuff muscle strain. He's on the 10-day IL. Jake Rogers, who he's on the 10-day IL as well with left oblique strain. Manuel Margot, he's got problems with his left patellar tendon strain. He's on a 10-day IL, and Wenzel Perez, he moved to the 60-day IL with a lumbar spine inflammation. That just sounds painful, doesn't it? Well, it does to me anyway. I hope they all get better. I hope we have some guys back on the team. And you know, when I say that, somebody's going to have to leave the roster for these guys to come back. And there's a lot of guys right now that are playing their hearts out, and they're helping with the Tigers and have helped with the Tigers to get to and stay in first place. And I'd hate to see them get demoted because these guys coming off the IL who, you know, are going to start to have to get back into the rhythm of a major league game. I know I'm just whining, but, you know, maybe you feel the same way. If you do, try to drop some comments to me. I need to commiserate with someone. All right. As we always do with our dispatches from Detroit, we always have our baseball card Tiger Tale. And today, it's going to be this fella, Walt Dropo. Moose, as he was also known, played football and basketball as well as baseball for the University of Connecticut. And that was back in the middle 40s. Now get this. The Chicago Bears drafted him in the 1946 NFL Draft. The Providence Steamrollers of the Basketball Association of America, which later became the NBA, drafted Walt in 1947. But Walt had other ideas. The 6'5", 220-pound first baseman decided to sign with the Red Sox as an amateur free agent in 1947. It wasn't long, 1950 in fact, before Walt Dropo started getting noticed with a .322 average, 34 home runs, 144 RBIs, and a .583 slugging percentage. And things were going well until Walt broke his wrist, and, you know, he just never duplicated those numbers again. And later in his career, he was traded to the Tigers along with Johnny Pesky and 3 other Red Sox players for George Kell, Dizzy Trout, Johnny Lippon, and Hoot Evers. That just doesn't sound like a fair trade to me. He would have never got here if we didn't trade all those great players. But I'm glad, I guess, they did, because it was a good thing having him play in Detroit. He was a good man, too. He was an ethnic Serb and caught a little flack from fans and others about his ethnicity. He didn't like that. And after getting traded to the White Sox later on, he saw the racist ways of other players, especially those hacking on Larry Doby and Minnie Minoso, who also played for the White Sox. And some of the racist ball players frowned on guys like Walt here for dining with black ball players, and they suggested that he do not socialize with black players. He told them to go pound sand. I love this guy's style. In 1957 at Comiskey Park, Yankee pitcher Art Ditmar knocked down Larry Doby, and things got frosty as they usually do when that happens. And Larry went out and punched Ditmar, and you know what happens. Things just come unraveled at that point. Well, Walt, he got real tired of hearing racist banter coming from Enos Slaughter, and grabbed him and wrestled him to the ground and almost ripped his uniform off. Did I mention he was 6'5" and 220 pounds? Well, there he is, Walt Dropo, today's Tiger Tail subject. Hey, thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. I would really appreciate it even more if you could like, comment, and subscribe. That would really make things wonderful in my life. Talk soon.
Go get 'em, Tigers! This concludes your dispatch from Detroit. Remember to like and subscribe for more content from the 313, the D from the Motor City.